the government positions without the required screening and confirmation. Other allegations include withholding salaries, allowances, and funds meant for the legitimate Rivers State House of Assembly, as well as seizing the salary of a clerk, Mecca Amadi. The lawmakers also accused Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu of conniving and supporting the illegal appointment of persons to government positions without the required screening and confirmation. Upon receiving the notice, Mr. Mawule forwarded it to Governor Fubara, and asked the governor to respond to the allegations. He also advised the governor to act accordingly and extended his esteemed regard. In the meantime, the Rivers State government has accused the State House of Assembly of obstructing Governor Siminalayi Fubara from fully implementing the Supreme Court judgment. Speaking at a news conference in Port Harcourt on Monday, the State Commissioner for Information, Joseph Johnson, stated that Governor Fubara had remained committed to implementing the court's verdict despite its unfavorable outcome. Mr. Johnson stated that the Assembly has consistently refused to acknowledge correspondences from the governor despite multiple attempts to engage with them on the latest accusation of gross misconduct against the governor and his deputy. The commissioner said the executive arm was yet to receive any correspondence from the State Assembly. He restated that Governor Fubara had always been committed to peace and has demonstrated this by complying with the court ruling directing the transition of power from elected local government chairmen to heads of local government administrations. He said the governor also indicated interest to implement the rest of the directives of the Apex Bank as soon as he receives the certified true copy of the judgment. Mr. Johnson also criticized the Assembly's recent call for a probe into the chief judge, stating that their latest actions showed that their priorities were not in the interest of the state.
Just last Friday, March 14, 2025, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, in keeping with his resolve to do the needful, sent another letter, personally signed by him, to the House and House Speaker, Right Honorable Aide, again to notify him and members of the House under his leadership, indicating his plan to come to represent the 2025 budget to them on Wednesday, March 19, 2025, by 10 a.m. or any other day that may be convenient to the House in compliance with the Supreme Court verdict in order to keep the wheel of government of the state running. In a letter dated 13th March 2025, Governor Fubara again requested to present the budget to the Assembly on that same Wednesday as proposed. Regrettably, the State of the Assembly, regrettably, the State House of Assembly refused to receive and acknowledge the letter. A courier company which was engaged to deliver the letter also returned it with a report that it was rejected at the Assembly quarters where the members currently sit.
While the media aide to the Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State, Bernard Dike, has suggested that President Bola Tinubu has a role to play in the ongoing political situation in the state. Speaking in an interview on WSTV's Morning Spring, Mr. Dike stated that Governor Fubara has not committed any offense and that attempts to remove him will not succeed. He emphasized that FCT Minister Nyesom Wike alone did not make Governor Fubara.
Expected that as a father, while you're talking to this your child, you also talk to, that's how you resolve issues. You also talk to the other one. But we have not seen him give any directives to Wike. But if the president calls Wike to order to say, look, stop. Call these men, they are loyal to you. Tell them to stop. Rivers State has to move forward. Because of the consequences, it will stop. But we have not seen that. And the world is, I think the world should be hearing all this. The president has a role to play. Now, the people who are saying what they are saying are people of Rivers State or people of Nigeria who feel that they don't like what's happening. And they also have the freedom of expression to express themselves. The governor did not send them, and the governor is not owning up to that. So that's what I can tell you. The governor is not owning up to that. The governor will not subscribe to anything by them. Right. But he's so certain that Amewule and co cannot remove him. He has not committed any offense in the true sense of it. He has not. And it is upbeat that that they can't succeed in removing him. They cannot. They cannot. And that's why you see them, they are playing this game the way they are playing. Yes, their first card have been to go for impeachment.
All right. All right. Okay. Talking about Governor Siminalayi Fubara now, Mr. Odike.
Additionally, Mr. Odike pointed out that members of the House of Assembly are being controlled by Mr. Wike and are openly disrespecting the governor. He noted that the FCT minister had previously stated that he would not interfere in Governor Fubara's administration and would only step in to offer advice when needed, adding that he now appears to be trying to take control.
We expected that as a father, while you're talking to this your child, you also talk to, that's how you resolve issues. You also talk to the other one. But we have not seen him give any directives to Wike. But if the president calls Wike to order to say, look, stop, call these men, they are loyal to you. Tell them to stop. Rivers State has to move forward. Because of the consequences, it will stop. But we have not seen that. And the world is, I think the world should be hearing all this. The president has a role to play. Now, the people who are saying what they are saying are people of Rivers State or people of Nigeria who feel that they don't like what's happening. And they also have the freedom of expression to express themselves. The governor did not send them, and the governor is not owning up to that. So that's what I can tell you. The governor is not owning up to that. The governor will not subscribe to anything by that. Right. But he's so certain that Amegule and Co. cannot remove him. He has not committed any offense in the true sense of it. He has not. And it is upbeat that they can't succeed in removing him. They cannot. They cannot. And that's why you see them, they are playing this game the way they are playing. Yes, their first card have been to go for impeachment.
All right. All right. Okay. Talking about Governor Siminalayi Fubara now, Mr. Odike, he's your principal. And according to you, you say that the interest of the people of Rivers is paramount. But some people will argue to the contrary. The question is, for instance, how did Governor Siminalayi Fubara come to power? You know, some people would say he wasn't popular. Okay? He wasn't popular on the streets. He was unpicked by Nyesom Wike. Now, godfatherism is playing out. So some people are of the opinion that, fine, if you were picked by someone from nowhere and all of a sudden you become governor, then...
Elsewhere, former governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Lagos State, Abdulaziz Aide, popularly known as Jandor, has defected to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Jandor made the announcement on Monday during a news conference at his office in Ikeja, Lagos, weeks after resigning from the PDP. He cited internal crises and lack of party discipline within the PDP as the primary reasons for his departure, expressing disappointment in the party's inability to address anti-party activities during the 2023 general election. Jandor revealed that he consulted widely with political associates, supporters, and leaders across various parties, including the Social Democratic Party, African Democratic Congress, and Young Progressive Party, before deciding to return to the APC. He acknowledged the efforts of President Bola Tinubu's Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, and President Tinubu's son, Seyi Tinubu, in persuading him to rejoin the APC. In other news, Justice Chukwujeku Aneke of the Federal High Court in Lagos on Monday adjourned to May 8, 2025 for a report of settlement in an alleged 12.3 billion naira fraud case against chairman of the Honeywell Group, Oba Otudeko, and 3 others. The court fixed the date following an agreement by all parties to allow the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, to mediate and facilitate an amicable resolution of the matter. Otudeko, alongside a former managing director of First Bank PLC, Olabisi Onosoya, a former board member of Honeywell, Soji Akintayo, and the firm Anchorage Leisure Limited, are facing 13 counts bordering on obtaining under false pretenses referred against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The case was initially scheduled for arraignment on January 20, 2025, but the defendants were absent on the grounds that the EFCC had not served them with any charge. The trial of Timileyin Ajayi, the suspected killer of a National Youth Service Corps member Salome Adaidu, began on Monday at High Court 2 in Lafayette, the capital of Nasarawa State. The prosecuting lawyers brought 3 out of 5 witnesses to testify against him. The witnesses who submitted their statements as evidence in court claimed that the victim's body was found in Mr. Ajayi's possession. Mr. Ajayi was first brought before Justice Simon Aboki of the High Court in January, where he pleaded not guilty to killing Salome Adaidu, who was allegedly found dead in his home. The Nigeria police had charged him with culpable homicide, a crime punishable by death under Section 221 of the Penal Code of Northern Nigeria. The Nasarawa state government took over the case and appeared in court to start the trial. Wednesday, 5th of March 2025, marked the beginning of Lent among Christians across the globe. The day, which is globally recognized as Ash Wednesday, involves the practice of marking the forehead with signs of a cross using ashes gotten from the previous year's Palm Sunday branches. In this write-up presented from our studios, Miracle Adebayo looks at some of the unique elements and significance of a Lenten season.
As a moment set aside for 40 days, a period of penitential preparation for Easter, Lent dates back to the 2nd century. It was first formalized by the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD in the Christian Church, where fasting was the major rite of the period back then. The practice of ash crossing on the forehead marks the beginning of Lenten season on a day widely known as Ash Wednesday. The fasting is often observed by converts or new Christians as a period of repentance and reflection before baptism on Easter. However, over time, it became a general practice for all Christians as Pope Gregory regularized the period for church-wide fasting 40 days before Easter, excluding Sundays, which were days for celebrations. But in some other places, both Saturdays and Sundays are set aside for non-fasting days, and it is strictly ended with 1 meal daily after 3 p.m. with no meat, fish, or dairy. The evolving of time from one era to another also brought about dynamic changes in the strict rule guiding daily feeding after fasting. In order to get more strength and keep up with work, believers start to eat more or eat earlier while sacrificing other things in place of food. And so giving up something during Lent becomes another valid practice of those partaking in it. There is also variation in the date of the Lent period in both the western and eastern regions of the world. While the eastern region starts the period, which is also called Great Lent, on the 7th Monday before Easter and ends on a Friday, 9 days before Easter. The western period starts on the 7th Wednesday before Easter and ends on Thursday. The last week of the Lenten period is called the Holy Week. Apart from being a period of self-examination and repentance, the fasting and sacrifices made during this period allow individuals to reconnect with their faith. It is believed that the season gives easier access for people to practice self-control and humility, which fosters a sense of gratitude and dependence on God. Acts of charity and service is also another significant contribution in the society that emphasizes compassion and kindness towards others. These practices extend the importance of the season beyond the spiritual essence, as values like self-discipline, mindfulness, and personal growth are easily acquired alongside the religious affiliation with the season. During this period, Christians are encouraged to break bad habits, adopt healthier lifestyles, and reflect on their personal and moral responsibilities. Certain key elements and symbols make the season unique. The practice of ash crossing on the forehead is one of them. Though this varies notably across different denominations, while some worshippers leave the sign on their forehead so that everyone can see it, others wash off the ashes as a sign of being cleansed from sin. The cross shape made from the ashes in turn symbolizes the reminder of the mark of the cross made at baptism. Confession is another key element that comes with the season, as partakers are expected to set aside the 40 days to examine areas of recurring sin that prevent them from conforming to God's will through prayers. Another uniqueness of the Lenten season would be the necessity of giving something up or letting go of something as a sacrifice during this season. Options like alcohol, luxury shopping, meat, caffeine or coffee, sweets and desserts are all considered as things to let go of during the fasting period. The color purple is the official color for Lent and represents a call to repentance from sins and a symbol of the state of Christian souls outside the light of Christ.
For watching News at 7 on Western Spring Television, still to come, Shura and other activists accompany Lagos-based corps member to the office of a local government inspector whose bond are over a viral video. We'll bring you more on this when we return. On the foreign scene, European Union's foreign chief says Russia does not want peace as Trump and Putin plan to discuss land. Omoyele Sowore and other activists, including lawyers, and on Monday accompanied Lagos-based National Youth Corps member Ushie Ugwamaye, also known as Rai, to the office of a local government inspector, LGI, who summoned her over a viral video. It was gathered that Rai recently went viral for criticizing President Bola Tinubu's government. In a video posted on her TikTok account over the weekend, she voiced her frustration over Nigeria's deteriorating economic situation, blaming President Tinubu for the hardship. In another video clip that went viral on social media, the corps member was heard claiming that she was being threatened by officials of the NYC following a public outburst. Rai was summoned to appear in the office of a local government inspector for questioning on Monday. Rai, who secured the backing of several political bigwigs, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, was accompanied to the office on Monday by Mr. Sowore and some legal practitioners. In an update on his official X handle, Mr. Sowore claimed that the NYC officials failed to show up. In Ogun State, the government on Monday announced the arrest of one Ashafa Afelaja, the headmaster of a private school at Enyogbe, Igode, for allegedly sodomizing a female pupil. Mr. Afelaja was said to have been picked up after a concerned member of the public brought the unfortunate incident to the notice of the state government. In a statement, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Adijat Adeleye, said while the perpetrator was in police custody, the government was following up on the rescued child and mother for necessary attention and further action. Similarly, the ministry officials also rescued a 4-year-old boy who had been brutally assaulted by his father in Igboko, Adodota local government area of the state. The commissioner said the child had since been placed under the protective custody of the ministry, where he is receiving comprehensive medical care and emotional support. The commissioner urged members of the public to support the state government in eradicating all forms of gender-based violence, child abuse, and every other injurious act to women and children's development. And now to the foreign scene, US President Donald Trump says he and Russia's Vladimir Putin will discuss land, power plants, and dividing up